everyone. This video is going to be very exciting. We are about to introduce to you a brand new tool coming to OrderPix. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at our memory made graphics and thought, man, I really like something a little bit more creative? Have you ever spent way too much time in Photoshop creating those custom graphics and then loading them into your project so your customers can see them? Have you ever wanted to create a graphic for something other than a memory mate? Well, the answer is yes, because you've told us so, and we've been listening and working very hard to get this out to you. Steve and I are very excited to introduce to you our brand new dynamic layout tool. Very soon, you will be able to create a custom graphic within OrderPix for any product that you want, set a price for that graphic, load it into your project, and let OrderPix and your shopper do the rest. It's going to be very cool. So for this demo, we're going to keep it pretty simple, but please allow your mind to wander and wonder what this can do for you. Let's jump right in. Steve's going to show us a little bit about it.
All right, so Jess and I have set up a project in OrderPix today to kind of walk you through this very quickly and show you how this is going to work with the dynamic layout tool. So here's a simple project that I've set up, has two subjects, and I want to kind of show you very quickly how we started with this. So I have a folder here of data, CSV file, and the images that I loaded the teams in, the individual images, and note there is a buddy image that loaded to these two subjects, so we're going to show you how that can work. And also, this is very important, a folder of graphics that we use to build the layouts, and they're all right here in this folder, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. So there's kind of an organization lesson right there for that. So we're going to jump into this project. And here we go. So we have these two subjects, and when mom logs in, she's going to go in, and this is what she's going to see. So you're going to notice that obviously it's a green screen job. We have backgrounds over here, and the dominant background or the default background is the one that's dropping in, as always. But down here we have our individual image, our group image, and we have our buddy image. So we're just going to go with this one. And we're going to buy photos, and you're going to see the images loading. So we have the three tabs at the top, of course, prints, products, and packages. And what you're going to see here, the first product, or first print, I should say, is a Winhawks 8x10 single image. And so this is one of the custom graphics examples for an 8x10 that you can create. And very simply, this has the default background, but we've also added a name. And a name is not the only thing that you can add. You can add logos, things of that nature, but we kept it pretty simple today. The cool thing about this is, one of the cool things is that we have an 8x10 here with the name on it. And if you look further down here, we have an 8x10 without a name. So you can have an 8x10 with graphics, plain 8x10, same for the other products that and prints that you're putting together. So it's pretty cool. This is the memory mate as an a la carte. Any of these prints that you want to incorporate into a package, you can do that as well, as you're going to see. So there's your a la carte version of that. We go up to products, and we have a button here. And again, this button has a name on it, pulling from the data dynamically, and a couple of other items in here. And then we get into packages, and this is where it's really kind of really cool, is that you can pull in your graphic products, your dynamic products and prints into a package and incorporate those with the regular prints and products. So here we have a package A, has the memory mate, obviously an 8x10, a couple of 5x7s. Down here we have a social media file that actually has the name on it. So you can create social media files or full res files that have the name on it, don't have the name on it. You can offer both or just one, whatever you'd like to do. Moving down here a little bit further, I want to show something that we're really excited about. We've added trader cards to our catalog in OrderPix. And so what we've done is we've mocked up a little example of that right here. And so you would do a layout for the front and for the back. And on the back, you can have any data that you want. Obviously, in this one, we've got the player's name, first and last name, the team he's on, and that's all pulling dynamically from the data that you provided or you have loaded into the project. position, he's a pitcher, and obviously the number. So any type of data that you want to add in here, you can, because we have added custom fields that you can totally customize your data if we don't have the data fields in here that you're kind of looking for. So that's pretty cool. And I'm going to come back to that here in a little bit.
Hey, Steve, what happens if the kid gets bumped up to varsity and mom now wants that team name to be varsity versus JV?
Well, Jess, that's a great question. So let's go down here and look at this subject. We go back to Kenny Powers, for example, and he is, this image is JV. So we can go into the record for Kenny and we can go in and we can change what is going to show up on the print. So we come down to the bottom of his gallery, click on his images, and we can change his data right here on the fly. So right now we see his team name is JV. You can change it down here, make it a V for varsity, save that, refresh, and it's going to show him as being on the varsity if that's on his trader card. And if his number changes at the same time, you can change his number here, and he's number 8. You can change that, and that's going to show on the trader card as well. Okay.
Cool. That's awesome.
All right. We talked about the pricing. You can set it for the graphic and for the individual print, the trader cards, the buddy. I think we want to talk about a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit about the buddy image. So each of these guys have a buddy image assigned to them. So if we go back to the edit screen, you're going to see that. Click on the individual image. His name is Kenny Powers. Here's his image data, image that assigns to that data, or the data that assigns to that image. But we get down here to the buddy image, and it would normally say Ken Powers, and we want to change that. So all you have to do to have that show up on that file, and only that file, is come in here and change the first name to, for example, John and Kenny. So when either of these guys order this, and they both have the same file in each of their records, John and Kenny is what's going to show up on the button, on the file, whatever they're ordering. So it's very unique that way.
Very cool.
So we're talking about trader cards a little more specifically here, and pulling up the back of the trader card for this gentleman. And we see here we have the player, the team name, the position, and the number. So when mom places an order for that, in the next screen, she will have the opportunity to go in and change or personalize the back of the card. So let's say, his name is Kenny and she calls him Ken. She can change that, and maybe he's on the varsity, got bumped up, good for him. So we're going to go to
Nice.
varsity, and the varsity he's going to be, maybe he's going to stay as a pitcher, but his number changed. And we're going to see here that Custom 1 and Custom 2 are being utilized for those particular fields, and we may talk about that a little bit later. So I'm going to click on Preview, and you can see down here, Ken Powers is now in the varsity. He's a pitcher, and his number is now 8. Mom can
That's going to
save
be very
that and
cool.
order the trader cards that way.
Awesome.
So we're going back to Jess. Jess is going to talk a little bit more specifically about layouts, how to set those up, and Jess, take it away.
Yeah. So we just want to give you a taste, guys, of what this new layout tool looks like. So again, Steve kind of hit on this, but I really want to stress organization is going to be key here. So think about, hey, I've got my Windhawks, and I've got different sports for my Windhawks, and then I've got my Go Hawks, and I've got my different teams for them. Duplicating is going to be your friend, but keeping your stuff organized is going to be a big deal. And I mean that in your folders as well as your naming features when you're naming your graphics. Okay, so enough on that. So here's my graphics that I'm going to work with. I'm just going to show you how we're going to build a single image 8x10. So here's my folder. And then now let's jump into OrderPix. So once we get this activated, you will now see a little cool layout button that jumps in right here. So currently this is all the layouts that I have built. But what I want to do is just show you how it looks. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the layout. Let's just call this demo 8x10. Okay, so next one, this is if you want to add something a little more spunky so that your customer sees more text there, you can with graphic, something like that. Okay, this, if you remember, this is going to help sort your graphics in order. So definitely pay attention here. For this, we're just going to go O1 demo, something like that. This field's very important. So this is where you're going to select what product you want this graphic to go to, okay? So we're just going to keep it simple again, and we're going to say we want it to be with an 8 by 10. We're going to jump over this. This is for people that are, coming in from a different program. This is pretty cool. If you want to say, hey, I want limitations. I don't want this layout to be used with a group image or horizontal or vertical. You can set those limitations as well. All right, we're going to click in, and that's going to create the shell of our layout. So you see I've got some warnings. Here it is, my 8 by 10, telling me something's not right yet. That's all good. Next thing I want to do is I want to go, so I was in properties, now I'm going to bounce over to graphics. So now I got to load the graphics that I want in for this graphic. So remember that folder we just looked at? We're going to click on upload, and we're going to go find that guy. Let's jump into the folder. I'm going to grab my graphics that I want. And this guy right here is going to be unique. So just kind of keep this guy aside. It's called the subject example for a reason. So we'll come back to that. I'm going to click open. That's loading my graphics. Okay. All right. So now I've got the graphics that I want to use to build my layout within the graphic. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click into edit. And here is my layout screen. Okay. Some things I want to show you. If I've selected an 8 by 10 product, it's going to automatically fill my canvas with that, which is way cool. How many times have you guys spent time trying to figure out what a button size is or what a magnet size is, and then figuring that out and then creating your canvas? Love that tool. Love that feature. Okay, this right here, this will just make your canvas bigger, smaller, so you can see it on the screen. Okay, we've got the basic stuff, undo, that kind of thing. Right here, this is our main things that we're going to work with. We're going to add an image or we're going to add text. You got two options. We're going to keep it simple. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add an image. And this is going to be, think of this as layers, and we're going to build the graphic, okay? So first thing I want to do is build my background. And again, we're going to keep this simple, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our location as 0, 0, and I know this is an 8 by 10, okay? So that's going to fill my canvas. And then right here, I want to jump to this guy. So is my background a subject or is it a graphic? It's a graphic. So I'm going to click on my graphic button, and that's going to take me into the option here. And I'm going to pull in my background graphic. Bam, there it is. Okay, so let's make that a little smaller so you can see it. Looking good. Okay, lots of other options that we can fill here. We're going to keep it simple and move on from here. This up here is pretty cool. So if you click on this button, it highlights it, and then you can start to move things. Obviously, I want that to stay at location at 0 by 0, so we're going to put that back there. Trash, duplicate, and then lock. I like that lock feature. Lock means I can't move anything. It looks like I didn't get my location just right yet. Let me see if I can get that. Oh, it didn't refresh. Okay, we're going to keep moving here. Okay, so the next thing I got to do is I got to add in my subject, okay? So we know this project is a PNG. So transparent background is kind of what we're looking for. And let's see. So with this one, I like the move feature. So watch this. So if you don't know like your exact locations that you want, and let me also point out, where did that guy go? Up here, you're going to see some XY coordinates. So if you're good with numbers and you want to plug it in, you can do that. If you like to just move things around, that tool is there as well. Okay, so one thing I also like, I'm a visual person. I like to see like an example of the PNG. So this is where that subject example guy is going to come into handy. So there he is. Okay, he looks a little small, right? So right here is where Steve and I like to stress, hey, did I crop everybody the same? Are we all 8 by 10s? Is our headspace going to be the same? That kind of stuff's going to get very important when you start to get into these layouts. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly I'm going to pull them all the way down, I think. I think I have some fog in there too, but let's just pull him all the way down. Bear with me here. Okay, good enough for this example. So you get the idea of what we can do. So I like my visual. So before it can pull in a graphic within your project, you got to change it back to that subject button. So we're going to just click right here. We're going to go back to that lady. Okay, so I like it. I'm going to lock it. I'm going to leave it be. I want to add some text to this guy. So I'm going to click add text. Here we go. Do the drop down. Again, I'm just going to do a visual and I'm going to pull it down to where I want. And then here I'm kind of creating that text node, that box of where I want it to be. So that's probably a little big. Let's go down a little bit. And I could sit here and play with this all day. So we're going to keep this moving and call that good. Okay, here we go. So you can mess with that again. Right here, we've got two options. If you want text that's going to change with the data that you've already put into that CSV, then we're going to go, we're going to do a backspace and we're going to add data fields. So we're going to click here. We're going to click on first name, and then we want it to be phonetically correct. So we're going to put a space in there, and then we're going to pull in the last name. Okay, so brackets mean programming means dynamic. So always have your bracket. If you don't see the brackets, then it's not going to pull in dynamically. So those are definitely important. Let's see. Your font's going to pull in. Find your font that you want. You can change that if you want. This is really cool. I like this feature. So you got your dropper here. So let's click on that dropper and let's see if I can pull in. Let's see, where am I at here? There we go. Let's pull in this orange. So I'm going to highlight that. It's going to find it. It's going to change it to orange. That's pretty cool. We got a font size if we need it. This autofill is very cool. So let's say you've got a long last name and it always overspills and then it gets cut off and you got to redo something. So that auto size will make sure it stays within your box, your text node box. So that's very cool. Let's go bold. Let's not do italic. Alignment, how about center? And this is cool. So how many times have you wanted your data goes in with, uppercase, lowercase, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I really want everything to be uppercase for my graphic. Well, this will do it for you. Strokes are in here, pick your color, all that fun stuff. Okay, one thing I haven't been doing that I really want you to get used to is save often. Every time you hit save, it's going to save a version of that layout. So pretty cool there too. Once I'm complete, I'm going to give it one more save and I'm going to close out. This page would take a second to refresh. Now, all you have to do is treat it like a new product, okay? So what I mean by that, I want to activate it into my project. So now that my shoppers can start to see it and use it. So all I have to do is go into my pricing. I've got my Winhawk's price list here. And now you'll start to see a tab within the tabs called layout at the end. So think of it like a new product. And all you have to do is activate the price. So since I did an 8x10 print, I'm going to be my prints, and then I'm going to go over to my layout tab. And here's my product that I just created. I'm going to give it a price. I want that bad boy to be 25. And remember here, this is the coolest part ever. So remember in the old days when you created a graphic and you loaded it into the system and OrderPix thought it was just an 8x10. So your 8x10s were the same price across the board. Who hasn't wanted to charge more for that graphic? Well, now you can. So very, very, very cool. All right, gang, this is just a taste. Please let your mind wander. This is going to be so much fun, so cool. We can't wait to get it in your hands. We're proud of this one. We're happy to get it out to you. Can't wait to hear from you guys and see what you create out there.
Thanks, Jess. That was great. Great information shared with our customers there. So just want to tell everybody that we're real excited about this, and we're excited to show you about this. We're excited about the opportunity and the options that it opens up for our customers to make more money with the pricing flexibility and all the layouts that you can create. It's going to be great for you. So thanks everybody for watching this video and joining us in this. We're excited about the dynamic layout tool, and we hope you are, because it's going to bring a lot of opportunities to you. So